traffic officials investigate a triple fatality, and tourism officials on Grand Bahama weighing in on the tragedy. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance moving to set the record straight, and an historic day for a local family of a legendary Bahamian entertainer.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Megan Shepard. It's so great to have you with us. Tonight, a tragedy tops our newscast as a tragic accident on Emancipation Day has resulted in a triple fatality. 3 persons are dead following that traffic accident that occurred yesterday, Monday, August 7th, on East Sunrise Highway and Gedney Drive. Reports are that a 2006 GMC Sierra and a silver Nissan collided shortly after 1 p.m. All of the occupants in the Nissan were injured, and the lone male driver of the truck received minor injuries. One female passenger of the Nissan, age 76, succumbed to her injuries on the scene, and all other passengers were transported to the Random Memorial Hospital. A male and female passenger in the Nissan later succumbed to their injuries in hospital. Now, those 5 occupants of the Nissan were all reportedly visitors from Italy. Tonight, Director at the Ministry of Tourism, Betty Bethel, is expressing condolences.
The guests were guests of Viva Fortuna from Italy, and they did arrive Grand Bahama on Thursday via the Alpator charter that comes in weekly. Due to the incident, yes, the surviving members are still in hospital, having injuries treated, and their family members are coming in tomorrow to support them, at which time then they will make further. The Bahamas Ministry of Tourism is very saddened by the events of yesterday, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family members of the guests who lost their lives yesterday in a 2-car collision on Grand Bahama. We have dispatched our Visitor Relations Unit, who have been with the family, the surviving family, since the incident yesterday, and they are there to comfort and provide as much support as we possibly can to get them through this very difficult time.
Police are actively investigating this matter and admonishing motorists to drive with due care and attention while traversing the streets. While officials here in the Bahamas explore ways to tackle crime, officials say in recent times there has been a growing concern about the increased crime rate in the Turks and Caicos Islands. While visiting Grand Bahama Island recently, newly elected Premier, the Honorable Charlene Cartwright Robinson, says that crime in Turks and Caicos is manageable.
We're still very low in our crime rate. The thing is that we have a very zero tolerance. We do not want it to spill over to our main industry. And the anxiety that is in the Turks and Caicos is not a bad one, simply because that means Turks and Caicos Islands are not going to settle for what has happened to other countries. Our police is going to be on top of it, as always.
Premier Cartwright Robinson says that like other countries in the region, many of the crime and societal issues in the Turks and Caicos apparently stems from misguided youth. But there is an action plan in place, she notes, to address this troubling issue.
So it comes back to us focusing on our youth, making sure that we have them fully engaged so they're not doing the things that they are doing. But in Turks and Caicos, I can say that we're certainly going to be moving in the right direction. We're going to certainly be addressing all of the challenges that we face. We're a very small country. We can see our work quicker than perhaps other countries can.
Premier Cartwright Robinson says that when she leaves office, she hopes her greatest legacy will be her positive impact on that country's youth and youth involvement. Today was an historic time for a local family and a community as a corporate giant held a special ceremony in honor of an individual who, through his musical talents, took the Bahamas to the world. The late musical icon, though gone, was today remembered in a significant way. Natalia Hall reports.
The late Johnny Kemp was known for his phenomenal singing talent to many around the world. Kemp started his musical journey in Grand Bahama and eventually moved to New York to further his career. You may remember this big hit, Just Got Paid.
Just got paid. It's Friday night. Party hunter.
On Tuesday afternoon, family and friends, along with the management and staff of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, came together to pay tribute to the singing legend by renaming a street where he grew up years ago in his honor. Kemp's sister Janice Pinder spoke on behalf of the family. She says that this moment is an historic time for the entire Kemp family.
This street holds many memories and history for our family here in Grand Bahama. It is a home that it is the home that Johnny began his career as a singer, entertainer, singing at Freeport High functions, then at the casino at Bahama Princess and the Gombe Park, to name a few.
Pinder says that the day is significant for more reasons than one.
About 35 years ago in August, our mother passed away. She played a pivotal role in Johnny's career. Today is also his birthday. It would have been his birthday today. So this occasion is triply special for us, for our family.
The late legend's wife, his two sons, and musical icon Obi Pinlin were also on hand for the event. Pinlin was acknowledged as one of the persons behind the idea of renaming the street in Kemp's honor. He says this is only the start of what's to come.
When he died, we all spoke about what we had to do to try to keep his memory alive, and this is just the beginning. You know, there are a lot more things on the drawing board, but we have to take everything in incremental steps. But there's no way, as long as I have breath in my lungs, along with Johnny's family, we're going to do everything we can to ensure that Johnny's memory stays in Bahamian history.
Deputy Director of Building and Development of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Troy McIntosh, says it is a pleasure to support the Kemp family as they rename Gilbert Crescent to Johnny Kemp Crescent.
We share the intended hope of the family, of the Kemp family, that this moment in history serves as another anchor of securing his legacy.
The official street unveiling was held. Family members and friends were filled with joy as they released balloons in the air in his honor. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
In other news, the Deputy Prime Minister moving to set the record straight regarding the controversy surrounding the various academic and government scholarship programs. Shashina Roll reports.
As many students are heading back to college and university, there are those who have applied for scholarships but have been told through misinformation that the government scholarship program has been discontinued. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, says nothing is further from the truth, adding that this is extremely misleading.
I want to say, for the record, on behalf of the Minister, that is completely and utterly false. Every year, the government of the Bahamas issues about 400 scholarships to deserving Bahamians. Nothing has changed.
Turnquest also explains that the grant program, which is different from the scholarship program, is a one-time contribution to students. He shares how this works.
Some of the recipients in that program have been misled or are trying it on, as they say, to come back the second year and say that, well, we are on a scholarship. We're supposed to get another lump sum this year. Well, no, they're not. It's a grant program, one grant. It doesn't mean that you can't get a second grant, but that is all dependent upon the applications, what you're doing, and whether the government feels that it's in the best interest of the country to give you that second grant.
And when it comes to the government's scholarship educational loan program, he says this has become an unfortunate tragedy. He admits that the government has been holding back on this program as there is over $150 million in outstanding loans.
That means people who would have come to the Educational Loan Authority claiming that they want to go to university, or having gone to university and not returned, or have returned and have not paid back anything or very little on their commitment, Some of these people never went to school. They bought cars and whatever else with it. And when you go to the guarantor of the loan, invariably, because of the nature of the people that would have borrowed from this program, the guarantor doesn't have the money. They might have used their house, for instance, to guarantee the loan. Well, the government can't necessarily go and throw the people out the house to collect the money. And so you have this growing default loan book that we just cannot invest anymore right now until we get that book under control.
But he says there has been some progress in collecting outstanding payments, so the government is optimistic that once under control, more funds will be available for lending. Shashina Rule, ZNS Network.
Stay with us, there's more news right after this break.